And so for this this fourth wave that should be going down, let me adjust these to make this a little more clear. Basically, the fourth, as per usual, can't go below the one. And here's the thing: if this really is the three, this is a rather small three, definitely smaller than this one here that I've made. By the way, the one might go here as well. I'd have to go into a smaller time range, which we can do if you want to see that. If you want to see exactly which one, this point or this point, the one should go at. I'm just going to put it here for now. It's really, really small difference. Shouldn't be a huge deal. For example, even if I was going to have an entry off this, it would still be approximately the same place anyways. I'm expecting this to break down, maybe not now, but eventually it should be going down even lower lows. I'm not going to be selling right now, though. I don't have that confidence, and I'm going to explain why. So basically, if this third wave is this small, we know for a fact, again, if it's the third wave, then this five wave here, this five wave cannot be longer than through it, which it looks like price might start to go up right now, actually. I believe it's going to be temporary. I'm not going to be getting to the buy personally. But I'm going to be looking for an ABC, and we'll look for that. So where exactly can we see this three go as a maximum? This is a really good point of interest because you can do a couple different things with this maximum. So the top price was here. And then now I'm just going to use this whole thing as a measurement. So it depends where the four ends, I guess. Let's say we have a really, really deep four. It's almost exactly where I can see it going over to, which is this blue, or sorry, not blue, purple and green line here. This area, there's a double overlap of a fib. So I think that's going to be a really, really crucial point. And I do see price potentially reversing right there. That's where the TP target is for the buy, or where you might potentially be getting into a sell. And we're looking at what kind of sell that would be. So it would be a temporary sell, I guess. But so if this is the, we're in the, let me remind myself, we're in the minute wave of the five here. Let's say this plays out perfectly. This line, perfect. The five ends here. The four doesn't have to end here. The four can end a little bit higher. It just can't go any lower than that, obviously. So these are actually both bounds. Neither one of these can be, this one can't be this much farther than that one, and this one can't be any lower than that. We can do so much with this information. This is actually a really good time to be looking at the market. Looks like price might be going down already. So we went up just a little bit there because I have the double bottom with the doji, but that might be the full extent of it, or we could definitely see going up a little bit higher and then actually going down. It did do this. Let me there's a little bit sidetracking, but I do want to explain this. So what the US30 does more than other the forex pairs is it will do retests that are perfect to the most recent low that it just broke. What I mean by that is if you look here, this line here, it broke, it didn't break. It had a low here, and then when price went up, had a double low actually, and then price came down, it broke the level, and then touched it again for a perfect touch. So this is a really good opportunity for an immediate, if you're say scalping or something, then you can get a really, really nice sell there, which again, I don't really recommend scalping. I really don't, unless it's for entries. If it's scalping for entries, but long-term hold, that's another story. But if it's scalping for the sake of scalping, you would get out now, for example, because it looks like it might go up and you're trying to get this a little tiny bit, then in my opinion, that's doing it wrong. So I really don't recommend that. So a little bit of sidetracking, but that is something that is kind of an important skill. I do want to talk about that. So because the US30 does do it a little bit more than other currencies. So if you're gotten there for a longer term hold, and maybe already you could have a stop profit. There's the word, stop profit. That would be fine, but I wouldn't recommend getting out already. And that's a good thing because price just broke again. So now we see price going down even farther. And this one should not be retested so much. It'd be retested on the 1 second chart. This is the 1 minute chart. So very, very small retest that it's already had. But I could definitely see price going down immediately soon, or now that it's made that, I guess it's having a little bit of indecision. Doesn't really matter, and I'm getting sidetracked. I want to focus on the bigger picture. So down here on the bottom right corner chart, this is the 1 hour chart. What you see, I keep getting distracted. I should really just take that one off. It's so distracting. But once it gets to this area, it's I can definitely see a very high chance of it reversing for quite a few reasons, and just the fibs that line up with it. But this point here, let me show you. So it shouldn't be the absolute point. What I mean by this is, I'll get out my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need to make this even smaller. I'm going to make this now on the minor tier. So I'm going to have the 1 here. I'm going to change the tier afterwards. 2, where this finishes will be the 3. And then after that, we're going to be expecting a 4, obviously. So where will the 4 be? I'm going to put it temporary here. And then, oh, we can't have it that low, excuse me. I'll fix that in just a second. And then with 5 up here. So the 4, this can be a maximum low of this point, but then the real price. So the lowest this 4 can be is here. And this is actually a good point for the 4 because the rule is that, not the rule, excuse me, the tendency is that for the 4th wave on this degree, it is usually around the 4th degree on 1 degree down of the 3rd wave. So what I mean by that is a perfect example. So this would be a minor wave here. So on the minor wave, this 4, I'm expecting it to be approximately a little bit lower in this case as a maximum. So it easily could be the same point again. That is the maximum bound, close to there. Now, let's say that price goes up perfectly. It comes down first. We see it come down a little bit more right now, down a little more on the 5 minute, down a little more on the 15 minute. And we finish off a C wave. 4 goes into place on the minute. And then we see the 5 going up. And then after we see a clear 5, it even bounces off this point. But if it goes lower than this 4, what do you do? This is where a lot of people and other courses will really leave you in the dust. They don't really explain what you should do. And this is what I like to tell people that I like to do. And so this is what I actually do as well. And that is that you restructure everything, which is not people's friends, which is why a lot of people don't say they do that. What I mean by that is instead of all this work that we've done, if that was the case, again, this is a big, big, huge if, here's what I'm going to do. If that's the case, then I'm going to do an ABC, an upward ABC. It looks like this. This would be my ABC wave. This is the alternate count. And so on this alternate count, basically we would have an ABC up. At the top of that C, we'd have 1 degree higher B, or excuse me, A on a similar one. And for the bottom here, it basically we want it to go down more. We want to see that C, if it breaks this 4 here, it goes down lower, and it's no longer as a 4 anymore. We have now a C, and the C should honestly go all the way down to below where it started. So it's one thing to look out for. Once it has this 5, once it goes up one more time, basically, then it's a very strong potential for it to go down even more. And that's what we're looking out for right now. That's the alternate count. And as predicted, price did break it again and go down even more. So if we did enter off of that same position I was saying before, we'd be up a decent amount in profit right now. Looks like about $16 per entry. So it might not be that much, but if you have 10 entries, which for my personal competition account, I usually use 20, that would be about $300 in profit so far. So this is a very valid strategy to use, but not the strategy we're talking about. And I keep getting distracted by it, but it is really interesting. So did I already delete this? No, I did not. Let me delete the alternate count. I do want to mention it, but it's not my main count that I'm looking for. Basically for now, I am treating this low as an absolute low. I'm treating this as will not come back to it. If it does, obviously I can just really easily fix it. But for now, we're using this as the real low. I don't really even feel like it is. I feel like it's gonna come down and break it a little more, but we'll see. So with this 4, that doesn't break the 1. After this, we're gonna see a whole nother minor wave up. Obviously, the minor wave has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to the 5. Once it has the 5, then it will go down unlimited at this point. So once it gets to this 5, everything works great. This 4, it didn't break the 1. After this 4, it went up, and it finished the 5 around this area here. It's a little too far out to determine exactly where this 5 should be. I am approximating it right here, but that doesn't mean that I really feel like it will even get up to that point, or that it'll stop there necessarily. It might stop at the 200, for example. Once it does get up to that 200 or wherever it does, then we're going to see a minor ABC. Don't let the name confuse you. Minor ABC is fairly large. It's usually, doesn't always, have a good amount of time distance as well. So if we do have a really nice 5 here, then I'm expecting a deep C wave. C wave should not break the 0. In that case, if we do see the 5, then I'm not expecting price to break the 0, because that would be a violation of rule number 1 on 1 degree higher than the minor wave, which is the intermediate wave. So on the intermediate wave, then the rules will be broken. So thinking about 3 different degrees all at the same time, all with such little information, all expanded over a long period of time, because these rules are so concrete. And this is really how I honestly trade. And this is how I'm doing with my competition account, which let me show you exactly how well that's going so far. If you're not familiar with this, I am going to be making not only a video, but several videos on exactly how to win these competitions. Let me show you. Here we go. So this is my current competition account. There is a little bit of glitch, which is really annoying from the competition holder, that they decided to withdraw some money. Yeah, so they decided to have a withdrawal of $700. No idea why. I'm currently talking to them about that. So basically, add $770 to this number, but the number is 160, so it's about $107,000 in this demo account. However, this is a very special demo account. Once this demo account reaches $110,000, then I pass the competition. Basically, I have to wait 10 days and I have to make sure that I have enough positive profits. But there's an easy way to overcome this that takes extremely little skill, just a lot of strategy, and it basically guarantees you won't lose at that point. So this is really the only last hard part of the challenge. And after this, then once I pass the entire challenge, there's 2 parts, and then I get funded. So it takes a maximum of 2 weeks to do the whole challenge. I guess if there's exceptions where it could take even longer, but 2 weeks to do it as a maximum. After those 2 weeks, which I don't think it'll take that long, I think that I'll finish this within the minimum. I think I'm going to pass this in 10 days alone. I don't need that much more percentage-wise. And as you can see from my history, lately they've been bad, two bad trades in a row. But these other trades, I had a 4,600 trade and had a basically 2,000 trade, and so on. So I'm really expecting that I'll finish this challenge within the next couple of days, pretty much. And then so once I do finish all this, then I will be making those videos for everyone to learn from and make their own money from. So let me go back to this. And by the way, what you get for winning the challenge, which I'm not sure if I said, is $100,000 of AUM, which means assets under management. That means you control $100,000 of other people's money. And what's cool about that is it's literally zero risk for you. Let's say that you blow the account. How much do you owe the people who are running the competition? You owe them $0.00. Let's say that I double the account. It's a $100,000 account. You keep 70%. So what that means is that I double the account. It goes from 100,000 to 200,000 off the, once I have a real one, once you pass, then you get to keep 70,000 of that money. Of course, doubling is not something that's expected to do in a single month from especially these kind of competitions where they have so many rules, but that is definitely possible. And I've definitely done more than that on the MyFX books as of late, which I'm going to go over that just a little bit in a little. Actually, we've already talked about everything here. This is really what I'm expecting. I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these extra lines, and then I'm going to post this for everyone to see. So I'm going to delete everything that looks wrong because those are useless now. What is this? That's interesting. That's a possibility too. I'll leave that there. And then, right, so after this, then we'll have a minor wave down. I already wrote this. That's incredible. And after that, we'll have this 2 here. Actually, it doesn't go there. It actually goes here. This 2 goes here. I think that's the wrong degree. Do we need this? What degree is this? This is not the right degree. This is definitely a primary wave, I believe. Not definitely, but I really strongly believe that's a primary wave. If it is the 2 there, the 2 might not go there. The 2 might go a little bit more to the right. So we'll see where exactly that minor or primary wave should go later on. It's not even close to immediately important. So we're not going to look at that right now. All we need to know right now, what is the lowest price that's currently forming on this downtrend that's we're in right now? What is the lowest price it's going to get to? It has a maximum amount. Let's mark that up. Let's make sure that we know what the maximum is because we can abuse this. So for the 1 here, or excuse me, not the 1, this one, let me zoom in on this 1 second. For this one here that I'm circling on the 1 hour chart, that is the lowest position the 4 can go. So let's mark that up. I'm going to go ahead and mark and right there. So how does this help us? Let's say that we know for a fact, 100% sure, which I do not, that the maximum lowest price is going to be a little bit lower than this one. It's going to be right here. Right here is the lowest price. I'm not saying it is, but if it was, what would we do? Where's the stop loss going to be? Underneath this green line right here. It's that easy. If price hits this, that means we marked up the red. This is no longer a 4th wave. Rules are illegal, or excuse me, rules have been broken. Now an illegal chart. Once it's an illegal chart, we do not respect it anymore, and we will be no longer using it. So that's why we put our stop loss underneath here, which of course this is definitely the wrong color. You'd use red for stop losses. There we go. So beneath this line, not at it, beneath it, it can hit that level. That is legal for it to hit the level. It's not legal for it to break it. What I usually do is I even get a little bit more room just because sometimes it flukes. Sometimes it's a broker issue. I usually put it below the body on the 1 hour, especially when it's a small top wick like this. This is where I would put my stop loss whenever I enter the buy. So where exactly should we enter the buy? Let's mark that up as well. So our beautiful 3 is here. This again, just to refresh ourselves, this is the minute wave. And we wanted to draw up a minuet wave, not minute. Those names are very similar, but they're definitely different. And it's a really easy markup. Done. That is, well, we have to change the degree. Now done. This is there's not so many rules for exactly where the C wave can go, but I will give a better approximation than I've done so far. The reason why I said down is basically just to emphasize that it really can be anywhere and not break any rules, but it does have a tendency, and that tendency is a 23.6. So I have a negative 236 on the chart right now. That's actually practically exactly where I put it. So I would personally, here's my trade. I'll probably end up taking this, honestly. Here it is, and I might win the whole competition with this trade. I can use my program to do that I wrote myself. So the stop loss goes here. Take profit, or entry goes here, negative 236. Take profit, we use another degree up. We don't use the same degree. We're using the degree rule. I'd probably put it here, honestly, at the 1.5, maybe. Maybe even lower. I might take out partials at -236 as well, but that's probably where I would have it. As it is, let's see what the RR is. As is, RR 5.14. Really quickly, let's see what it looks like with the 236. It's going to be a little bit worse of an RR. Let's look at both. So I'm going to make a new one. So alternative, and of course you can do both of these. These are the same entry point, so there's no reason why you can't do both. We can twin trade this if we want to twin trade. We can. It's actually two, which is kind of funny. And oh, let's put that right there. Okay, that is where the take profit is for this one. They are side by side, but they are not time defined. It's whenever it hits this level. It's not here at this time. It's an estimation of time. So for this other one here, taking out at the 236, again, always put a little tiny bit below as it did here. This one has still a very, very nice RR of 4.31. Fantastic RR. Now, is price going to reach our entry? Who knows? It might not. Here's the cool thing. If it hits it, it's a good trade. These are both good RRRs, good trade. If it doesn't, you lose $0.00. There's no cost for having a buy limit that doesn't get filled. It costs you nothing. So if you want to change your entry, if you want a lower entry, I want to get in a little earlier because I'm more anxious. Trade however you want. This is what I'm marking up right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready for a screenshot. Up here. This in the way. And I could easily see price going a little above these. I like to get out a little early than too late. So that's why I have my take profits here, even though I expect it to go a little bit higher. That's the reasoning behind that. So I love missing out a little bit. That makes me feel so great, which sounds funny. Like, really, you like missing out? Yeah, I literally like missing out. It's fantastic. Let me actually mark up the ABC as well on the same degree just to show what we're expecting here. I'm going to change the degree on this too to match. So just to confirm, I believe it's the minute degree. Just want to double check. Double check this minute degree. Minute degree, perfect. As it should be. Minute degree, we want to match it because it's an ABC after the fact. So then for this, I'm just going to give a really, really super, super general ABC down here. It's going to end where this 4 is because that's where it should end. This 3 should be approximately here. That should be here, like this. This is the current total. So I'm going to adjust every time frame to help get a better sense of the overall trade. So let me zoom out more on the 1 hour so we can really get a large scale view of what's going on. And then for the 15-minute, we're going to get a little more zoomed in on here. So we can see a little more the exact price levels, which are over here. It's the red ones. All red ones are the same. And then these entries are the same. And these take profits are different. So that's how you read it. It's the numbers that are like this. The kind of teal one is the current price. That's useless for looking back on. And for the 1 minute, I'm going to zoom really, really far out because the 1 minute, it's fairly useless by itself. Again, I could easily see price just going up now. It might just go up now. If it does, I would love to lose $0.00. Would feel fantastic. Love missing out on opportunities like that because that view is such a weird C. Such a weird C. I could not see the C being here. Again, it might. It's super rare. It happens though. Usually the C should be below the A. It's almost always. So again, that's where my C is for this particular trade. Looks like we're all set up for the screenshot. And there's the picture icon. There's the image URL loading up. There's the copy button. And going to Discord, walking you step by step. I'm posting some trade ideas. Here we go. Enter that into trade ideas. And from here, That's all I want to look at here. So last thing I want to do, very last thing, I'm going to go on here to, I'm going to see this loaded. So basically what I want to explain, my post from yesterday, I was not lying. I don't know if you're following my FX book. It hasn't updated yet. I did take it on the account, and I can even show the account. I don't hide anything, so I can show that. Is the VVS Academy trades. Let's see if it's updated. It still hasn't updated yet. This is ridiculous. It says it updates every 30 minutes, and it has not been updating. But just to prove this wrong, I'm going to stop the share so I can full screen. I'm not trying to hide any of this information. I'll keep it on here for a while it's here. But I do want to show this. I'm not in any trade right now, but this number in particular to look out for, balance and equity. It says they're the same number, and it says they're 1381. It is the same number. However, there we go. We can see that the number is indeed wrong once it loads into focus. So this is the real current balance of the account, 1.7K. And then I'll show you again, just to relook at it, so you don't have to go back. This is the amount that it's saying. So it's delaying by a lot. I exited this trade. What time is that? So yesterday, it's weird because it has the broker's time, which is not my own time, and that can be confusing. Basically, the time that it says here for the exit, the very last exit that I had for my most recent trades is 2019 08 08 03 05 02. So eventually, I hope that this will update. My monthly change for this month is doubled what it actually says, and that's really fantastic. We're doing great as a company. Our trades have been phenomenal so far. Really extremely little drawdown at all. Drawdown is at 3.62.